Hi, Steve Von Brandt here for the Bass College. I'm down here today with Mike. This is Newark Basser. For you guys that frequent our forums here at the Bass College, you know him as Newark Basser. We're going out today down in Red Mill. We're going to start off by throwing some fast-moving baits. It's pretty warm. The temperatures are rising. It's going to go up to almost 68 today. Water temperatures are in the mid to upper 50s. Got kind of a bluebird sky coming up, but at least we don't have the high wind. So we're going to start off with a rattle trap. A couple different colors. We're going to throw the chatterbaits. We're going to throw a spinnerbait, probably Skeet Reese Redemption. And if they don't hit that, we're going to go to some of the crankbaits like your Lucky Craft Big Daddy Strike, RC 1.5, Strike King KVD Square Bill, and run them up and down on the ledges to see if they're kind of staging on the outside still. Basically just going to start looking for them with the fast moving baits. If they don't hit that, we're going to go in, fish slow. We're going to throw in some of the creature baits, a Grande Bass, Mega Claws, a Mutant, maybe some Sweet Beavers and things like that, some dirty jigs, into the laydowns, into the heavy brush, things like that, see if they're holding tight to cover. So one way or the other, we're going to find them, and we'll see you guys in a minute down on the hill. Okay, what we're going to do is, the bass have been strange, so we're going to have to try to pattern them right now today to see what's going on. Last time I was here, which has been a couple days and the weather's really changed, the bass, I caught one in the middle of a pad field where they hadn't been. Then I moved down, I caught another one in pads, but off the pads, on a ledge in the deeper water, but holding near the pads. But then all the other bass weren't in any of the other traditional pad fields or spawning flats like that. They were up shallow, but they would only hit a jig in the hard wood, up real shallow on rocky, sandy bottoms. So there was no real discernible pattern. There were some big fish that were up real shallow in hard wooden docks one day, and then there were some bigger fish holding on the ledges off of sand and rocky bottoms in 4, 5, 6 feet of water near those areas the next day, and then the next day after that they were kind of all mixed up. Some were in those areas, some were off, one or two were in the pads, so they didn't seem to really have a pattern that you could figure out. You couldn't jump from spot to spot to spot in the lake and just repeat the pattern. You'd catch one in a certain area and then they wouldn't do it again the rest of the lake. So we're going to try and figure that out today. We're going to go around with all the fast baits right over here. Now what we're going to do now is I'm going to start here in this traditional cove that's real hot this time of the year, right around the middle of April. This is a little early yet probably for it. The water's a little clearer up in here, but we're going to start in here and we're going to throw the chatterbait and the rattle trap around, and I'm going to flip a jig into some of the laydowns. If they don't hit right away, we're going to jump to the next spot. And I'm just going to hit all the best spots first, just to try and see if we can pick up a few fish, try to figure out a pattern, and then see if we can't just duplicate that the rest of the day. We'll see you guys in a minute. Well, finally, we're down here by the road where I really catch them good a lot in the spring, and been throwing every bait in the world. Mike, tell them what we've been doing here.
Well, we basically have covered the whole pond. We've thrown rattle traps, chatterbaits, crankbaits, and a spinnerbait. We only got one crappie so far that Steve caught, and this is probably the first bass that we even had a strike on. And basically we're covering water and trying to find the fish. Not so successful at this point.
That's what? That was the Lucky Craft Big Daddy Strike, huh? And I had to really work to catch that bass. Yeah. Man, that was tough. There we go. Look at that. Not giant, but he's got a good belly, decent fish. Oh man, it's been rough. We're going to go around. We'll try a few more, but I do think we're going to have to start going to that jig, because they don't really seem to be on these fast-moving baits. I had to really kind of finesse this one out of the pads off the edge, and I think that's probably a fluke, but we'll try it a little bit more, see what happens. Let's get him back in. Let's go get some more. There you go. Haha. Boy, are these fish hard. So Mike, tell them, how hard have I worked?
I think about 7 hours hard.
I mean, it's not like I haven't thrown enough baits. They're just really turned off. That's a Skeet Reese Redemption. Getting ready to leave, I came into the back pads here, and worked over on this left side first and threw into the laydowns. Just rolled that Skeet Reese Redemption out of the lay down, and he came up and just whacked it hard.
Finally.
There you go. Not too bad. All right, let's let that one go.
All right, he's ready to go.
All right, let's try and get one more then before we go. Okay. What was this, like, what was that, 2 minutes later?
Yep.
I found a pattern, too late in the day, but I found it. Skeet Reese Redemption, 1/2 ounce, bluegill color, threw into the next laydown, slow rolled it out of the trees, hit the branches. As soon as it bumped the branches, just like the first time, got another one. There's your pattern, slow rolling the spinner baits, shallow wood up in the back bays. There you go. Tell them about that, Mike. What happened?
Exact same pattern. Steve's throwing it in the wood with his Skeet Reese Redemption spinnerbait. It's out fishing any spinnerbait I've thrown all day. And now I'm switching to try to get on the same pattern.
Well, that wind came up. It's a little bit rough. Had a hard time even getting the boat on it. The wind's swinging it to the side, but we're going to go out again tomorrow up in Middletown, Kurt and I, and then we'll see what happens then. We got a storm front coming through. That's why the wind is picking up. On Saturday, and then Sunday we'll be going back down here to Red Mill again and see what happens then. So anyway, we caught 4 bass. Caught them all in the shallow wood on that Skeet Reese Redemption, except for the one on a Lucky Craft Big Daddy Strike. Really turned off though. So hopefully next time when Mike comes down, we're going to catch a few more bass and then have him come back next week after we get back to the Potomac corner. So until next time, Steve Graham from the Bass College, Mike Phillips, Newark Basser, and we'll see you guys down on the